Welcome, everyone. Today we're diving into a topic that, at first glance, seems disarmingly simple, yet secretly holds the reins to your entire existence. How you choose to spend your time. We all share common desires, don't we? Everyone yearns for success, dreams of inner peace, seeks financial abundance, craves unwavering confidence, aims for fluent English, desires vibrant health, and wishes for richer, more meaningful relationships. But in this pursuit, a fundamental truth is often overlooked. Nothing truly transforms if your day-to-day existence remains unchanged. You can offer prayers to the heavens, conjure vivid dreams, or simply wish upon a star for a brighter future. Yet, if your daily routine continues to be a chaotic blend of laziness, distraction, aimlessness, and wasted moments, then a sobering reality awaits. Your future will, without fail, mirror your past. This isn't about your starting point. Whether you're born into wealth or poverty, possess a brilliant mind or grapple with challenges, are seasoned by age or brimming with youth. The undeniable truth, stark and clear, is this: the sum of how you utilize each of your 24 hours ultimately coalesces into the life you lead. So, today, I'm honored to share with you 15 profoundly powerful strategies to consciously invest your time every single day. These aren't just mere survival tactics. They are blueprints for radically transforming your life from the inside out. Embrace these insights, even if you only commit to half of them, and I guarantee you'll witness an undeniable shift. A surge in your energy, a marked improvement in your English proficiency, a laser-like sharpness in your focus, and a dramatically different trajectory for your future. Tip 1. Wake up before 8 a.m. This isn't merely a suggestion. It is the bedrock, the undeniable foundation upon which all enduring success is built. Whatever grand ambition fuels you, be it mastering English, launching a thriving business, fundamentally upgrading your life, or sculpting a healthier physique, the non-negotiable ingredient you absolutely need is time. And here's the stark reality. If you consistently wake up late, your day doesn't just begin. It explodes into a whirlwind of panic and reactivity. You're jolted awake not by intention, but by the relentless ping of notifications, the cacophony of the world's demands, and an immediate surge of stress. You're already playing catch-up, perpetually on the defensive. Contrast this with the individual who rises before 8 a.m. or even better, by 6 o'clock or 7 a.m. This isn't just an early start. It's a powerful, deliberate launch into your day. You gift yourself precious, uninterrupted hours to move your body, to meticulously prepare your mind, to think with crystalline clarity, to immerse yourself in silent, focused work, to strategically plan your day, to practice speaking English aloud in solitude, and to embark on your journey with a profound sense of purpose. Imagine the quiet confidence that comes from shaping your day, rather than letting it shape you. Consider two scenarios. Picture a student who habitually wakes at 10 a.m. Her morning is a frantic scramble. She rushes through her preparations, often skipping breakfast entirely, her eyes glued to an endless Instagram scroll. There's no time, no mental space, to speak English intentionally or focus deeply on any task. She perpetually feels behind, overwhelmed by a constant current of unfinished business. Now, compare her to someone who greets the dawn at 6:30 a.m. He dedicates time to exercise, methodically plans his entire day, practices speaking English with conviction, delves into a book for 30 minutes, and then begins his most important work with a mind that is clear, calm, and acutely focused. Who, in the grand marathon of life, will ultimately triumph? It won't be the inherently smarter person. It will be the earlier riser. Because every single morning offers you an invaluable head start on life, a quiet window of opportunity that most people squander. If you waste it, you will forever feel as though you're desperately trying to catch up, running against a current that only grows stronger. So, from this very day forward, abolish the habit of waking late. Banish the insidious snooze button. Eradicate all excuses. If your deepest desire is to fundamentally alter the course of your life, then the most potent, most immediate action you can take is to begin by transforming your morning. Tip 2. Spend 10 minutes in morning silence. This is perhaps the most overlooked yet profoundly impactful habit you can cultivate, a practice ignored by 99% of the population, yet never ever skipped by the top 1%. Before the world's relentless noise clamors for your attention, before your fingers instinctively reach for your phone, before the external demands of the day infiltrate and hijack your mental landscape, give yourself the sacred gift of 10 minutes of pure, unadulterated silence. Don't underestimate the power of this pause. Simply sit, breathe deeply, feel the profound stillness permeate your being. Allow yourself to be truly alone with your thoughts, free from external judgment or distraction. In this quiet space, ask yourself profoundly insightful questions. What kind of person do I aspire to be today? What emotions am I truly experiencing in this very moment? What single thing matters most for me to accomplish today? Because it is within this fertile ground of silence that you tap into an extraordinary wellspring of power. Here, you hear your authentic voice, the voice of your inner wisdom, your intuition, unobscured by the clamor of social media trends, the insidious pressure to conform, or the paralyzing grip of fear. As a renowned businessman once wisely remarked, "My most brilliant ideas didn't strike me in bustling boardrooms or intense meetings. They came to me in silence. In those precious 10 minutes, you acquire something truly priceless, crystal clear clarity. And when your mind is a beacon of clarity, every facet of your day improves exponentially. You make wiser, more deliberate decisions. You articulate your thoughts and ideas with newfound confidence. You navigate the inevitable challenges of your day with the composed authority of a true leader. Do not, under any circumstances, underestimate the transformative potential of this tiny habit. It will bestow upon you more profound peace, unwavering focus, and acute self-awareness than most people experience in an entire year. So, tomorrow morning, before you utter a single word to the outside world, take a moment. Listen to the quiet whispers of your inner self. Tip 3. Do boring things again and again. The vast majority of people stumble and ultimately fail, not from an inherent lack of ambition or sheer laziness, but because they are easily seduced by novelty and quickly succumb to boredom. They enthusiastically initiate a new habit, perhaps commit to it for a fleeting 3 days, and then, with a sigh of resignation, declare, "It's just not fun anymore," or "This feels too repetitive," and promptly abandon it. They are perpetually chasing the thrill of the new, mistaking excitement for progress. But here lies a profound, often uncomfortable truth, a truth rarely taught in schools and almost never explicitly stated in the glossy, high-octane motivational videos that flood our feeds. Success is boring. Mastery is boring. Discipline is boring. Why? Because anything truly monumental, anything genuinely great and enduring in life, is meticulously constructed through the tireless, consistent act of doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's not about sustained bursts of emotional motivation. It's about the relentless, unwavering power of repetition. Observe any genuinely successful individual, whether in the demanding arena of professional sports, the cutthroat world of business, the intricate journey of language acquisition, or any other field you can imagine. What do they consistently do? They embrace the monotony of small, repeatable actions. They wake up early. They practice. They read. They repeat. They reflect. They repeat. They fail. They repeat again. Not just once, not for a single fleeting week, but for months, for years, for decades. Consider the journey of a young woman striving for fluent English. She might enthusiastically watch one inspiring video, practice for 2 days, and then, finding the process tedious, stops altogether. Her English predictably stagnates. Now envision another young woman. Every single day, she dedicates herself to the same seemingly mundane routine. Watching 10 minutes of English content, meticulously writing 5 sentences, speaking in front of a mirror for 10 minutes, and conscientiously repeating the same challenging grammar pattern every day for 30 consecutive days. At first, she undeniably finds it boring. The novelty wears off almost immediately. Yet, she persists. By day 30, a remarkable transformation has occurred. She's speaking with a newfound fluency. By day 60, her confidence radiates. By day 90, onlookers are convinced she's a natural speaker, attributing her ability to innate talent. But they are mistaken. She wasn't born with extraordinary gifts. She simply mastered the profound, understated power of diligently performing boring tasks repeatedly. Because with every single repetition, your brain forges new neural pathways, growing stronger and more efficient. Your muscles, both physical and mental, develop an indelible memory. Your emotions, once erratic, gradually stabilize, anchoring you. And your identity, once vague, becomes clearer, solidified in the crucible of consistent action. So, cease the futile chase for fleeting excitement. Stop waiting idly for motivation to magically appear. Instead, meticulously build robust systems. Commit to doing the small, often unglamorous things day in and day out. Embrace and accept the inevitable boredom. And keep going anyway. This, my friends, is the unwavering path upon which champions are forged. Tip 4. Train your discipline like a muscle. Discipline isn't some elusive trait you're either born with or forever lack. It is unequivocally something you meticulously build, much like you sculpt a physical muscle. And just as muscles are strengthened through the strain of resistance, you cultivate discipline by consciously choosing to do the hard thing, especially when every fiber of your being screams for comfort and ease. Let's distill this concept into its simplest form. Motivation is inherently emotional. It's a fleeting spark, a surge of enthusiasm, often dependent on how you feel in the moment. Motivation whispers, "I feel like doing it today." Discipline, on the other hand, is resolutely logical. It's a steadfast commitment, an unwavering resolve that transcends mood. Discipline declares, "I will do it whether I feel like it or not." Both are valuable. Motivation can ignite the initial flame. But when that inevitable motivational spark flickers and dies, and trust me, it is discipline, and discipline alone, that will steadfastly carry you forward, through the headwinds and the droughts. Consider a young man who aspires to become physically fit. On day 1, brimming with excitement, he throws himself into an intense workout, feeling exhilarated. Day 2 arrives and he's bone-weary. Day 3 brings unexpected guests, disrupting his routine. By day 4, the sheer feeling of wanting to exercise has completely vanished. If he waits for motivation to reappear, he's already lost. He'll quit. But if he has diligently trained his discipline, he will show up anyway. He might not conquer a grueling workout, but he'll lace up his shoes, do something, and uphold his commitment. And the profound reward for this persistence? He doesn't just get fitter. He transforms into the kind of person who always shows up, who keeps his word to himself. That identity, that inner fortitude, is infinitely more powerful and enduring than any temporary surge of emotion. Now, apply this potent principle to your own aspirations. Do you yearn to master English? Then show up every single day, even when exhaustion weighs you down. Do you aim to significantly grow your income? Dedicate time to honing your valuable skills daily, even when no one else is watching your efforts. Do you aspire to build unshakable confidence? Then consistently keep the promises you make to yourself, especially when it feels incredibly difficult. Discipline is not about self-punishment. It is, paradoxically, about liberating yourself from the tyranny of excuses and the fluctuating whims of your mood. Start small, imperceptibly small. Make your bed with precision each morning. Speak English aloud for a mere 10 minutes. Bravely take a cold shower. Conquer one single boring task you've been avoiding. Deliberately say no to a temptation, just once per day. Every single time you make these small, conscious choices, your prefrontal cortex, your brain's decision-making center, grows stronger. You gradually evolve into the kind of person who can be trusted, deeply and implicitly, even by yourself. And that, my friends, is an utterly powerful state of being. Because when you trust your own resolve, you shed the shackles of fear. You know with unwavering certainty that you will show up, no matter what obstacles arise. So, from today, stop passively wishing for motivation. Instead, actively build discipline like a muscle, one rep at a time, one seemingly boring habit at a time, one hard decision at a time. This is the only true way to seize complete, undeniable control of your life. Tip 5. Spend 1 hour learning a high-income skill. Let's be brutally honest. Hard work, in isolation, will not guarantee your salvation. Good intentions, however noble, will not save you. Even a fleeting surge of motivation, though pleasant, will not ultimately secure your future. What does save lives? What unlocks true freedom, deep confidence, genuine respect, and a significantly better future are skills. You must become valuable in the marketplace, and value, unequivocally, is created by the mastery of high-demand skills. A high-income skill is not some esoteric academic pursuit. It's a practical, real-world superpower, a skill that solves tangible problems for others, is demonstrably useful in the real world, possesses universal applicability, and, crucially, has the potential to dramatically escalate your income and confidence. Think about it. Stellar communication and persuasive English speaking, the art of sales and ethical persuasion, captivating writing and compelling copywriting, expert video editing and dynamic content creation, effective teaching and transformative coaching, innovative design, strategic marketing, or cutting-edge technology skills. These are the modern currencies of value. The good news? You don't need to dedicate 10 grueling hours a day. You don't need to impulsively quit your current job. You don't even need to be perfectly proficient from day one. What you do need is just one focused hour every single day. A singular hour where your phone is banished from sight, your mind is fully present, and your learning goal is crystal clear. This isn't about volume. It's about focused intensity. Imagine two individuals. Person A finishes their workday and immediately plunges into an hour-long scroll session on social media every single night. 1 year later, their life remains largely unchanged, a carbon copy of their past. Person B, however, consciously reclaims that very same hour. They use it to practice speaking English, to diligently learn a new high-income skill, to refine their communication abilities, or to build something genuinely valuable for their future. After 1 year, the transformation is profound. This person speaks better, thinks sharper, earns more, radiates confidence, and possesses a wealth of options in life that were previously unimaginable. Same 24 hours in a day, but a dramatically different application of just one of them. That single hour may feel insignificant today, a mere drop in the ocean, but compounded over 365 days, it becomes the genesis of an entirely new life. This is precisely how silent winners are forged, not through an overnight burst of genius, but through diligent, daily, consistent effort. So, stop asking the impatient question, how can I get rich fast? Instead, reframe your inquiry. Begin asking, how can I strategically use just 1 hour today to become undeniably more valuable? That simple shift in perspective, that profound question, holds the power to change absolutely everything. Tip 6. Spend time with people who raise your standards. Your environment is never, ever neutral. It is a powerful, invisible force, constantly exerting influence, either subtly pushing you upwards towards growth and potential, or insidiously dragging you downwards into mediocrity and stagnation. Every single conversation you engage in, every person you choose to spend your precious time with, is incrementally shaping the way you think, the way you act, and the very scope of your dreams. This influence is often imperceptible, a slow erosion or elevation of your being. If your inner circle is primarily composed of individuals who perpetually complain, who squander hours in meaningless gossip, who mock discipline, ridicule ambition, and actively resist personal growth, then understand this. No matter how fiercely motivated you might initially be, your vibrant energy will, slowly but surely, be drained and ultimately extinguished. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and negative influences are like a slow poison to your aspirations. Conversely, if you consciously seek out and immerse yourself among people who profoundly respect time, who engage in stimulating conversations about ambitious goals, who genuinely care about continuous self-improvement, who are diligently working on themselves, and who think with a long-term, strategic mindset, then a remarkable phenomenon occurs. Your own standards rise automatically. You begin to instinctively question your own limitations, thinking, perhaps I am capable of achieving so much more. Perhaps I ought to dedicate myself more diligently. Perhaps I need to stop squandering my valuable time. A person surrounded by lazy individuals will find comfort and normalcy in their own laziness. However, a person who spends time with highly disciplined individuals will experience a profound, often uncomfortable, sense of unease when they fall short of their own potential. That discomfort is not a sign of weakness. It is a powerful catalyst. That discomfort is good. That discomfort is the engine that drives true growth. And listen very carefully. If you currently find yourself without such inspiring individuals in your immediate physical proximity, that is perfectly acceptable. You still possess the profound ability to curate your environment. You can consciously choose your virtual mentors by regularly watching insightful interviews with great leaders and thinkers, by devouring compelling books and biographies, by listening to truly meaningful and uplifting content, and by actively following individuals online who consistently embody and inspire discipline and growth. However, a crucial step must also be taken. Distance yourself from those who habitually drain your energy and stifle your spirit. This isn't an act of ego or arrogance. It is a profound act of self-respect and self-preservation. You are not here on this earth merely to fit in or blend seamlessly into the crowd. You are here to become something more, to ascend to your highest potential. And the most immediate, most potent way to significantly upgrade your life is to strategically upgrade the quality of the people and the voices you permit into the sacred space of your mind. Tip 7. Spend 30 minutes moving your body. Your body is far more than just a complex physical machine. It is an intricately interwoven system, profoundly connected to your mind, your energy levels, your emotional landscape, and even the very wellspring of your motivation. This deep, undeniable connection is precisely why the most successful people across the globe, from visionary CEOs to elite athletes to world-class artists, consistently allocate a significant portion of their day to intentional movement. They intuitively understand its critical role in sustained high performance. And know, when we speak of movement, we're not exclusively referring to brutal, hardcore gym sessions or Herculean feats of weightlifting for 2 hours a day. We're talking about the accessible, transformative power of just 30 minutes of intentional activity. A brisk walk outdoors, gentle stretching, an invigorating jog, a session of flowing yoga, a series of bodyweight exercises, dancing uninhibitedly alone in your room, or engaging in a physical sport that brings you joy. The specific form of movement is less critical than the act of moving itself. When you consistently move your body, a cascade of profound benefits unfolds. You dramatically increase your blood circulation, which in turn enhances brain clarity and cognitive function. Your mental strength solidifies, your emotional balance becomes more stable, and your daily energy levels soar. You'll find yourself more focused, capable of sustaining attention for longer periods. You will speak with greater confidence and conviction, feeling more alive, sharper, and utterly present in every moment. Let's illustrate this with an example in language learning. Imagine 2 individuals both diligently learning English. Person spends their entire day seated, rarely moves, consumes processed junk food, and then commits a grueling 5 hours to studying. Person B, on the other hand, dedicates 30 minutes to movement in the morning, fuels their body with clean, nourishing food, and then studies for just 2 focused hours. Who do you think will improve faster with greater retention and less burnout? Unquestionably, person B. Why? Because movement is the master key that unlocks dormant energy. And energy, my friends, is everything. Without sufficient, sustained energy, you simply cannot focus effectively, you cannot create innovatively, and you absolutely cannot be consistent in your efforts. So, if your mind feels sluggish, if your brain feels heavy with mental fog, if you find yourself steeped in a pervasive sense of unmotivation, do not instinctively scroll social media, do not fall into the trap of complaining, do not overthink the problem into paralysis. Instead, get up, move your body, sweat, breathe deeply. This simple, primal act will fundamentally shift everything. You don't need an expensive gym membership. You simply need movement. Your body was exquisitely engineered to move. And when your body feels robust and strong, your mind, revitalized and clear, will inevitably begin to believe in the boundless possibilities of your future once more. Tip 8. Spend 5 minutes reflecting on death. We all possess this uncomfortable, undeniable knowledge. One day, this precious life will inevitably conclude. One day, the sands of time allocated to us will finally run out. And one day, we will inevitably look back from that distant horizon and pose the most profound question of all. Did I spend my life well? Did I truly live? Yet, in our bustling lives, we so rarely pause to ask ourselves that question now, while we still possess the gift of time. And therein lies the monumental mistake. If your deepest desire is to use your time with profound wisdom and intentionality, you must constantly remember its inherent limitation. So, every single night, or even just once a day in a moment of quiet solitude, pause, close your eyes, and honestly ask yourself, if my life were to end tonight, did I live with genuine courage today? Did I articulate what truly needed to be said? Did I actively move even one step closer to my most cherished dreams? Did I consciously invest my time in the things that genuinely matter, that resonate with my core values? Or did I merely squander another precious day being paralyzed by fear, scattered by endless distractions, or utterly lost in trivial nonsense? Consider the poignant stories of those who, having finally landed their dream job, tragically passed away the very next month. Think of brilliant minds brimming with amazing ideas that were never shared, never brought to fruition. Recall the countless individuals who yearned for transformation, who longed for change, but simply ran out of time before they could begin. The undeniable, humbling truth is that none of us truly know the exact measure of time we have been given. And the profound purpose of reflecting on death is not to induce paralyzing fear. It is to bestow upon you an extraordinary gift, unwavering clarity. When you vividly remember that your time here is profoundly short, a remarkable shift occurs. You cease to endlessly overthink every decision. You stop procrastinating on your deepest desires. You free yourself from the exhausting compulsion to please everyone around you. You refuse to linger in toxic environments or relationships. You stop waiting indefinitely for the perfect moment that will never arrive. Instead, you begin to live with radical honesty, acting decisively now. You embrace life with a fierce urgency, diligently protecting your precious energy, and focusing, with laser precision, on what truly, fundamentally matters. So, grant yourself those 5 sacred minutes each day. Close your eyes, and simply reflect. Allow the raw, unvarnished truth of death to be the catalyst that finally compels you to start living, truly living. For it is those who vividly remember the end who ultimately become fearless at the beginning. Tip 9. Spend 15 minutes speaking English out loud every day. It's a common dilemma for countless English learners. Most can readily understand the language. They possess a respectable vocabulary. They comfortably watch videos. They read proficiently, and some even find themselves thinking in English. Yet, the moment the opportunity to speak arises, they freeze. Their confidence falters, hesitation creeps in, words vanish from their minds, and their brain goes utterly blank. Why does this frustrating paradox occur? Because they have meticulously trained their eyes, their ears, and their minds, but they have consistently neglected to train their most crucial tool, their mouth. Fluency in English isn't solely a measure of knowledge. It's profoundly about muscle memory. You might intellectually command an impressive lexicon of 10,000 words within the confines of your brain, but if your mouth and vocal cords have never had the repetitive, active practice of forming those words into coherent sentences, you will inevitably remain silent or stumble awkwardly in real-life conversations. There's a chasm between passive comprehension and active production. So what is the clear, actionable solution? Speak English out loud every single day. And here's the crucial part. Do this even if you are completely alone. In fact, especially if you are alone. You don't need an expensive conversation partner. You don't need to enroll in a costly class. What you need is a committed 15 minutes of honest, uninhibited mouth movement. Stand tall in front of a mirror if you wish. Set a 15-minute timer. Choose a simple, accessible topic. Describe your morning routine. Recount the events of your day, discuss your favorite movie, articulate your personal goals, or simply describe the objects around you. And then just speak. Do not censor yourself. Do not overthink every grammatical rule. Just speak. If you encounter a word you don't know, fluidly substitute another. If you make a mistake, acknowledge it mentally and keep going. The flow is more important than immediate perfection. Focus on the physical act of movement, on establishing a natural rhythm, and on building your self-assured confidence with every spoken word. This consistent, daily practice will forge the neural pathways and muscle memory that transform silent comprehension into confident, articulate fluency. Tip 10. Spend time teaching others what you learn. This is, without a doubt, one of the most profoundly powerful, yet tragically overlooked, habits that an individual can cultivate. The single most effective way to truly internalize and remember something you've learned is to actively teach it to someone else. When you acquire new knowledge, whether it's a complex English grammar rule, a strategic business principle, or a powerful motivational insight, resist the urge to simply store it passively in your mind. Instead, actively engage with it. Speak it aloud, write it down, and then, crucially, teach it to another human being. When you take on the role of a teacher, something truly magical, almost alchemical, happens. Your own understanding of the subject deepens exponentially, revealing nuances you hadn't perceived before. Your memory of the material solidifies, becoming far more robust and accessible. Your previously fragmented thoughts become crystalline clear, organized, and coherent. Simultaneously, your confidence in your own knowledge skyrockets, and your perceived value to others, and to yourself dramatically increases. Teaching doesn't necessarily imply standing on a grand stage, delivering a formal lecture. It simply means sharing, explaining, and expressing your understanding. You can teach by writing thoughtful posts about what you've learned on social media platforms. You can explain new concepts to your friends or family members. You could even embark on the journey of starting a small YouTube channel or a podcast to articulate and explain your learnings to a wider audience. Offer to help someone who is struggling with a concept you've recently mastered. Or, in a powerful act of self-mentorship, teach yourself in the mirror, as if you are indeed the instructor, guiding a student, your reflection, through the material. Consider this timeless analogy. Imagine a single candle burning brightly, casting a warm glow in a dark room. Now envision another unlit candle positioned right beside it. When the flame of the burning candle gently touches the wick of the unlit one, the second candle immediately bursts into light, illuminating the space further. But what happens to the first candle, the one that shared its flame? Absolutely nothing. It continues to shine with undiminished brilliance. It loses none of its light. In fact, the entire room becomes significantly brighter because both candles are now glowing. This profound metaphor perfectly illustrates what transpires when you teach something you know. You don't lose any of your own knowledge by sharing it. Instead, your understanding becomes sharper, more refined. You empower someone else to grow and learn, and as a result, the entire collective space, the intellectual and communal environment, becomes immeasurably better, more illuminated. So, make it a steadfast practice. When you learn something new, teach it. If you discover a more efficient way to manage your time, share that wisdom. If you stumble upon a clever shortcut to solve a persistent problem, explain it. If you grasp a complex concept, articulate it for others. You are not required to be an absolute expert to teach. You simply need to be a torchbearer, willing to pass on the light of knowledge. Because when knowledge is generously shared, its power doesn't diminish, it multiplies. Tip 11. Spend 1 hour building something that belongs to you. Here's an uncomfortable, yet crucial truth. If you don't commit yourself to building your own dream, you will, with near certainty, spend the entirety of your life meticulously building someone else's. The vast majority of people dedicate their entire day, their energy, their creativity, their prime hours to working for a company, a job, or someone else's project. They expend all their vital force simply to survive, to meet obligations. Then, they return home, utterly exhausted, mindlessly scroll through their phones, eventually sleep, and repeat the cycle. Weeks blur into months, years vanish without a trace, and their deepest, most cherished dreams remain just fleeting thoughts, imprisoned in their heads. They live a life of quiet desperation, postponing their true aspirations. But then there are the builders, a distinct minority. These individuals with quiet determination carve out just one precious hour of their day to consistently create something that is unequivocally theirs. It doesn't matter if this endeavor seems colossal or minuscule in its initial scope. It doesn't matter if anyone else is even aware of their efforts. It doesn't matter if their initial attempts are imperfect or clumsy. What matters is the unwavering act of building. What exactly can you build in this dedicated hour? The possibilities are as vast as your imagination. A fledgling online business, a robust skill-based portfolio showcasing your talents, an insightful podcast, a valuable digital product, a thriving community centered around a passion, a meticulously planned new career path, a refined language identity through consistent practice, or even, most profoundly, a new, elevated version of yourself. Imagine a vast, sprawling, empty field. It lies flat, quiet, utterly untouched by human design. Nothing is built there. It is simply land, unclaimed and unowned. People might walk across it, animals might run freely through it, the wind might whisper secrets through the tall grass, but no one truly notices it, for nothing remarkable stands out. There's no structure, just open space and a profound sense of missed potential. Now picture a single, ordinary red brick lying on the ground. Beside it, a bucket of fresh cement. And nearby, one more brick and another and another. Now envision someone, a builder, who begins to stack these bricks meticulously, carefully, one at a time, every single day. Not with a frantic rush, not for public acclaim, not for immediate financial gain. Just one brick per day, perhaps two on particularly energetic days, laid upon the same foundational spot. For weeks, nothing particularly special appears. It's merely a small, unassuming stack. But over time, with quiet, unwavering consistency, something begins to rise. A wall appears, then a distinct corner takes shape, then a more substantial structure, then a room, and eventually a building. After many days, months, or even years, a solid, strong, and beautiful structure stands proudly in the very same field that was once barren and empty. It is now undeniably owned. It is now widely recognized. It is now valuable. And most importantly, it belongs irrevocably to the persistent individual who showed up day after day and built it. That structure, my friends, is your personal project. It could be a thriving business, a respected brand, a mastery of a skill, a published book, a long-cherished dream, a fulfilling creative career, or even the unshakable foundation of your own self-worth. Most people simply wander through the vast field of life and never build anything lasting. They use their precious time walking in circles, chasing after other people's goals and dreams. They become utterly lost in a labyrinth of distractions. They go to their jobs, come home, eat, scroll, sleep, and crucially, they never build anything of their own. And after years, their lives are still that open field, vast, full of unused potential, but ultimately empty of their own creation. But those who choose to build, they start small, dedicating just 1 hour a day, laying one brick at a time. And that singular hour, that consistent effort, changes absolutely everything. When someone eventually sees the magnificent finished building, they often inquire, "How did you possibly build this? How did you arrive here?" The builder doesn't typically say, "I worked 12 hours a day, every day." Instead, they humbly recount, "I simply showed up every day and laid down one brick, brick by brick, hour by hour, quietly, patiently, without the need for applause, often without perfect tools, just with unwavering consistency." That, my friends, is precisely how dreams are truly built. So, when you commit to spending 1 hour daily working on something that is fundamentally your own, even if no one is watching, even if it's far from finished, even if you don't feel perfectly capable, you are, in essence, laying a vital brick in your own foundation. And one day, others will undoubtedly see the impressive building you've created. But only you will truly remember the initial emptiness of the field and the courageous decision to simply start, regardless. You can choose to perpetually rent your life from others, existing within their structures, forever. Or you can, one precious hour at a time, quietly, patiently, and persistently build something that belongs wholly and profoundly to you. Tip 12. Spend time in deep focus. No multitasking. In an age defined by relentless digital noise and a constant barrage of notifications, focus is not merely a desirable trait. It is a profound superpower. In this fragmented world, the individuals who possess the ability to concentrate deeply and singularly on a task are the ones who ultimately win, who innovate, and who achieve extraordinary results. However, the tragic reality is that most people live their lives in a state of perpetual fragmentation. They might initiate one task only to immediately check their phone, then briefly watch a video, open 6 unrelated browser tabs, simultaneously listen to a podcast, impulsively reply to a text message, attempt to work on a different task, and check their email 10 times within the span of an hour. The inevitable consequence? Their brain becomes scattered. Their thoughts grow sluggish and muddled. Their confidence evaporates, and worst of all, nothing of genuine significance ever truly gets finished. This isn't efficiency. It's a slow-motion unraveling of productivity and potential. You must cultivate and protect your focus with the fierce tenacity of someone whose very life depends on it. Because in many critical ways it absolutely does. Deep focus means a singular commitment. One task, one clear goal, 0 phone distractions, no ambient noise, no switching between activities, just pure, unadulterated attention. Imagine a bright, sunny day. The warm sunlight spreads broadly across the entire ground. It's pleasant, gentle, but this diffused energy doesn't possess the power to change anything concrete. Now, take a simple magnifying glass and hold it steadily above a piece of paper. Allow that same sunlight to pass directly through the lens. If you keep moving the magnifying glass erratically, nothing significant will happen to the paper. But if you hold it absolutely still, concentrating the light in one precise spot for a sufficient duration, you'll soon observe wisps of smoke, then a tiny spark, and finally, a small flame will ignite. Why? Because the magnifying glass masterfully focuses scattered light into a single, intensely sharp point. That focused energy, once diffuse and harmless, becomes powerful enough to burn, to alter, to create heat and trigger a profound transformation. This captivating phenomenon perfectly mirrors what occurs within your own mind when you focus deeply and singularly on one task, entirely free from distractions. Your brilliant brain is the sunlight, a vast source of potential energy. Your specific task is the paper, the object of your desired transformation. And your unwavering attention is the magnifying glass, the instrument that concentrates your power. If your focus perpetually jumps from one thing to another, nothing meaningful will ever be accomplished. But if you hold your attention still, commit to one task, and dive deep into it with unwavering intensity, you will generate results and achieve breakthroughs that scattered, fragmented multitasking can never hope to rival. That, my friends, is the transformative, undeniable power of deep focus. Embrace it and watch your world ignite. Tip 13. Spend 30 minutes reading. Let me lay out a truth that is both simple and profoundly impactful. If you are not actively reading, you are simply not growing. If your mind is not regularly engaged with the written word, your thoughts will remain confined, limited by the boundaries of your immediate experience and existing knowledge. If you abstain from reading, your language skills, be it English or any other tongue, will inevitably stagnate, stuck in a repetitive loop. And perhaps most critically, if you are not consciously feeding your mind with intentional content, your inner world will rapidly devolve into a mere mirror, reflecting whatever chaotic, noisy, trend-driven, gossipy, and ultimately distracting content social media algorithmically throws at you. You become a passive recipient, not an active creator of your mental landscape. But when you commit to the transformative act of reading, a remarkable alchemy occurs within your mind. Your brain becomes sharper, more agile, and more capable of complex thought. Your vocabulary undergoes a profound expansion, enriching your communication and comprehension. Your ability to focus, a vital skill in our distracted age, strengthens significantly. Your confidence, particularly in expressing your ideas, swells with each page turned. Your inner world, far from being a mirror of external chaos, becomes a rich, vibrant tapestry of ideas, perspectives, and insights. You begin to think deeper, articulate your thoughts with greater clarity and precision, and consequently, you live a richer, more meaningful, and more informed life. Reading is not just about consuming information. It is about cultivating wisdom, expanding your empathy, and forging a more robust, resilient self. Reading is not a mere pastime. It is a profound daily investment, not just into your intellect, but into the very fabric of your mind and soul. Forget the pressure of devouring a book a week or slaving over texts for hours on end. The transformation begins with a simple commitment: dedicating just 30 minutes a day. This isn't about speed or volume. It's about consistent, intentional engagement with a single book that both challenges your perspectives and uplifts your spirit. What should fill those precious minutes? The answer lies in your deepest aspirations. If your goal is to achieve English fluency, immerse yourself in simple English books, reading them aloud to familiarize your tongue and ear with the rhythm and cadence of the language. If confidence is what you seek, delve into the realms of mindset and psychology, unraveling the intricacies of human thought and emotion to fortify your inner self. For those driven by success, biographies of great men and women offer not just inspiration, but blueprints of resilience, innovation, and strategic thinking. And if your heart yearns for peace, let spiritual and emotional wisdom guide you, cultivating a calm and centered inner world. Consider this daily dichotomy. Two individuals wake up with the dawn. One immediately succumbs to the siren call of their phone, mindlessly scrolling through an endless feed of curated lives and fleeting information. The other consciously reaches for a book, a quiet companion promising discovery. One becomes ensnared in a web of digital noise, a cacophony of distractions that breeds comparison, ignites fear, and drains precious energy. The other embarks on a journey of growth, filling their mind with new words, new paradigms of thought, and a burgeoning sense of empowerment. After just 1 year, these two people are no longer remotely similar. The reader's mind has been sharpened, their empathy expanded, their worldview broadened. The scroller remains tethered to the superficial. Books, you see, are not just paper and ink. They are silent mentors. They invite you to sit, figuratively, with someone infinitely smarter, more experienced, more profound than yourself, allowing their wisdom to gently, yet profoundly, shape the contours of your own mind. The common lament, "I don't have time to read," is a deceptive myth. It's not a matter of lacking time. It's a matter of misaligned priorities. Imagine liberating 30 minutes from the grip of your phone's screen. Redirect that time, that precious fragment of your day, to the pages of a book. Your future self, a wiser, richer, more evolved version of you, will offer eternal gratitude for this singular shift in habit.
Tip 14.
Write a letter to your future self. The vast majority of humanity navigates life in a purely reactive mode. They rouse from sleep, propelled by the inertia of expectation, dutifully performing what is required, seeking solace or distraction in the digital ether, stressing over the day's demands, and finally collapsing into sleep. This cycle repeats, relentlessly, without ever a moment of genuine introspection. They never truly pause to ask themselves, where am I truly headed? What deep-seated desires reside within me? What kind of person am I striving to become? When you engage in the deeply personal act of writing a letter to your future self, you transcend the superficiality of mere goal setting. You are actively constructing a tangible bridge, a living connection, with the person you are in the process of becoming. It shifts the internal monologue from a vague, distant "one day I'll change" to a powerful, "present here is precisely what I am doing now. And this is the magnificent future I am diligently working to create." Cultivate this sacred ritual. Once a month, or even just once every few months, carve out a dedicated 30 to 60 minutes. Seek out a quiet sanctuary, free from the incessant chatter of the world, away from the glow of screens and the pull of distractions. Then, with a pen in hand and a blank page before you, begin to articulate your inner landscape to your future self. Start with a tender salutation, something like, "Dear future me, I truly hope you are strong. I hope you remain focused on what truly matters. I hope you are immensely proud of the incredible journey you've undertaken and how far you've come. I want to share with you what is happening in my life, right now, in this very moment." Then, dive deep into the wellspring of your being. What are the current struggles that weigh on your spirit? What aspects of your life are you relentlessly striving to transform? Which habits are you meticulously building or painstakingly dismantling? What ambitious goals are you fervently chasing? What hidden fears whisper in the quiet corners of your mind? What improvements do you desperately hope to witness? And what invaluable truths do you wish to implant in your future self's memory, ensuring they are never forgotten? Be unreservedly honest. Be raw. Be real. This profound dialogue is not for public consumption. It is not for fleeting likes or ephemeral attention. This is a direct conversation with the one person who will unequivocally live the results of your present actions, your future self. When you commit these thoughts to paper, 3 transformative outcomes invariably occur. Clarity *, the act of writing forces you to organize the swirling tempest of your thoughts. You begin to discern, with startling precision, what truly holds significance in your life, separating the signal from the noise. Connection *, the aimless drifting ceases. You embark on the profound journey of building an authentic, intimate relationship with your own unfolding future. It becomes a destination you are actively navigating towards, not merely observing. Commitment *, you forge silent, yet incredibly potent, promises to yourself. It is remarkably easy to present a facade to the world, to craft narratives that obscure your true intentions. But when you write to your future self, the possibility of self-deception becomes extraordinarily difficult, almost impossible. And the true magic unfolds when you revisit that letter 6 months or a year later. You will bear witness to the remarkable extent of your growth, or perhaps, with a jolt of realization, how much you have consciously or unconsciously ignored. Both outcomes are unequivocally life-changing. Envision this: you procure a pristine piece of paper. You pour out your entire heart, detailing your current existence, the formidable challenges you face, the lofty goals you pursue, the prevailing mindset that governs you, the raw tapestry of your emotions. You write it with the earnestness of a message in a bottle, casting it adrift into the vast ocean of time, destined for a future you. You carefully fold the paper, place it within an envelope, and with deliberate intent, inscribe the words, "Open on January 1st next year." You seal it, tuck it away in a drawer, and allow it to fade from your immediate consciousness. Time, that relentless river, flows onward. You live, you grow, you struggle, you succeed, you fail, you persevere. Months later, the designated date arrives. You retrieve the forgotten envelope. With a quiet reverence, you break the seal and unfold the paper. As your eyes scan the familiar handwriting, the words of your former self, a sudden wellspring of tears may emerge. Not tears of sorrow, but tears of profound understanding and overwhelming gratitude, born from the realization of how incredibly far you have journeyed. You read about your old doubts and recognize, with a breathtaking clarity, that they have vanished. You reread your long-held dreams and realize, with a thrill, that you have not only begun to live them, but perhaps even surpassed them. Or perhaps you come to the sobering conclusion that you remain stubbornly ensnared in the same place. Either way, it serves as an undeniable awakening. This deceptively simple habit bestows upon you a gift that most people never receive. An honest, unwavering mirror held up between who you once were and who you are dynamically becoming. This is an infinitely more powerful force than any motivational quote from an external source, because it is not someone else's voice echoing in your ears. It is your own authentic voice, speaking across the chasm of time, guiding and affirming. What essential elements should find their way into this sacred missive? What endeavors am I passionately engaged in right now? What habits am I actively striving to cultivate or bravely trying to shed? What deep-seated fears stir within me? What ignites my excitement and passion? Where do I envision myself in the next 6 to 12 months? What profound lessons do I hope to have absorbed and integrated? What fundamental truths do I never want to forget, even if I achieve immense success? You can commit your thoughts to paper, capture them in a treasured notebook, or even utilize a digital send later email feature. However, the tactile experience of physical paper is arguably superior. It imbues the act with a sense of tangibility and reality, and when you eventually open it, the emotional impact is undeniably more potent, more visceral. We meticulously track our steps, meticulously manage our finances, and diligently monitor our goals. Yet, with a baffling oversight, we often neglect to track the most crucial evolution of all, the transformation of who we are becoming. This powerful habit, writing to your future self, ingeniously brings that vital self-awareness back into focus. It furnishes you with an internal compass for direction, ignites the fires of motivation, provides unwavering accountability, fosters deep self-respect, cultivates emotional fortitude, and offers something profoundly real and exciting to anticipate. Most people passively hope their future will magically improve. But when you actively engage in writing to your future self, you transcend mere hope. You become an active participant, a co-creator, in the construction of that future, weaving it into existence with your words, your truth, and your unwavering intention. Don't simply dream of a better version of yourself. Write to them, for the most potent and transformative conversation you will ever embark upon is the one that unfolds between who you are, right now, and the magnificent person you are destined to become.
Tip 15.
Spend 20 minutes planning your next day. You've diligently trained your physical body. You've honed your communicative voice. You've sharpened the faculties of your mind. You've meticulously protected your vital energy. You've painstakingly built unwavering discipline. You've diligently practiced essential skills. You've spoken your truths, manifested your creations, moved with intention, and focused with laser-like precision. But if you awaken without a clear blueprint for tomorrow, Your brilliant brain will greet the day shrouded in confusion. Your precious time will dissipate into the ether, squandered on indecision. Your boundless potential will slowly, subtly leak away, unrealized. This is precisely why, every single night, before surrendering to the embrace of sleep, you must embark on a brief, yet profoundly impactful ritual. Sit down, armed with a simple pen and paper, and meticulously plan the contours of your next day. Just 20 minutes. No external noise, no frantic rushing, simply focused intent. Ask yourself these illuminating questions. What are my 3 most important, non-negotiable goals for tomorrow? What absolutely must get done, come what may? At what specific times will I tackle these crucial tasks? What potential distractions should I proactively identify and steadfastly avoid? How can I strategically protect and replenish my energy throughout the day? What precise time will my alarm awaken me? What specific English practice will I undertake tomorrow? What preparations do I need to complete tonight to ensure a smooth tomorrow? This singular habit, planning your day, unleashes something truly magical. It bestows upon you an unparalleled sense of control. Instead of merely reacting to the relentless currents of life, you seize the helm and begin to lead it with purpose. Instead of feeling perpetually behind, desperately chasing after a never-ending list of tasks, you discover that tasks now dutifully follow your direction, aligning with your priorities. The debilitating grip of stress loosens, replaced by a profound feeling of preparedness and calm. Imagine someone who faithfully practices this ritual every single day for an entire year. They consistently know what truly matters. They greet each morning with a vivid sense of purpose. They waste not a single moment of their valuable time. They never allow important things to slip through the cracks of forgetfulness. They eliminate the agonizing morning paralysis of overthinking, moving directly into decisive action. That individual will, without question, outpace 90% of their peers, not because they possess superior intellect, but because they possess something far more valuable: absolute clarity on what to do and when to do it. Now, contrast this with someone who habitually drifts into sleep without the guiding light of a plan. They invariably wake up late, feeling the pressure of the ticking clock. They squander precious hours in the morning, lost in a fog of indecision, agonizing over what to do next. Guilt gnaws at them, confusion clouds their judgment, and the relentless noise of their inner critic overwhelms their senses. Their cherished dreams remain relegated to the background, perpetually out of reach. Their progress is haphazard, a series of random, unconnected events. This is not a symptom of inherent failure. It is a direct consequence of a fundamental lack of clarity. Planning is not merely an organizational tool. It is a conduit to power. Planning is not just about tasks. It is a gateway to profound peace. Planning effectively removes the looming shadow of tomorrow's stress by empowering you to prepare for it today. So, refuse to surrender your day to the capriciousness of luck. Instead, build it with the vision of a creator. Design its intricate details with the precision of an architect. Protect its every moment with the unwavering vigilance reserved for a treasure beyond compare. A mere 20 minutes spent in focused planning at night possesses the astonishing power to save 10 hours of debilitating regret and wasted effort tomorrow. So now you possess the truth. There is no mystical magic. There is no elusive secret formula. There is no tempting shortcut. But there is a way, a profound way to wield your time so judiciously, so powerfully, so intentionally, that life itself is compelled to reward you abundantly. Begin with unwavering discipline. Architect your mornings into a sanctuary of productivity. Speak your truths aloud. Move your body with invigorated purpose. Generously impart your knowledge to others. Immerse yourself in the wisdom of books. Reflect deeply on your journey. Cultivate periods of profound focus. And crucially, never, ever surrender to sleep without a crystalline understanding of what tomorrow unequivocally demands of you. Time is not a commodity you merely spend. Time is the very essence of who you become. Therefore, invest it with this newfound wisdom, and you will construct a life of such formidable strength and richness that no one, and nothing, can ever wrest it from your grasp. If this message has resonated with you, if it has ignited a spark of potential within your spirit, then I invite you to subscribe to our channel, for here, we are dedicated to forging your English proficiency, sharpening your focus, and meticulously building the foundation of your extraordinary future.